I don't like this forest. It's dark and creepy.
Of course I don't know, but I think it'll get darker before it gets lighter.
Do you suppose we'll meet any wild animals?
We might. Animals that eat
Money.
Some, but mostly lions and tigers and bears.
Lions?
and tigers?
And bears.
Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my!
Welcome to the Nuggcast, your source of weekly gaming news. I'm Ryan.
I'm Georgia.
I'm Gabby.
I'm Chris.
Woo!
Good job.
We're all here.
Recording this time.
We're
Yeah.
recording this time.
Okay.
I didn't fuck it up. Alright. So, the news. So this week, our first bit of news is, so have you guys heard of a streamer called XQC?
No, I don't follow streamers.
Yeah.
Well, now I know.
Now you know of him, yeah. So, he's a competitive Overwatch streamer, and basically, I've seen the video of this, and it's basically a shit show. The guy starts off the stream by reporting a bunch of people on his own team for stuff like, hacking, griefing, all this stuff. Like, just reports them. In the extra comments, he writes, "Fuck you." And this is the way he starts off this video that I'm watching. He goes through the entire game. He's like, he's not that much of a shitlord, but the guy doesn't seem that great anyway. Then at the...
I can understand, is he doing it on a second account?
No.
I don't think so, no.
Oh,
this
lovely.
is... Yeah.
Yeah.
So he reaches the end of the match. The match ends, and he gets banned. And he starts, like, flipping his shit.
Oh, yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, he got an email from Blizzard, and Blizzard are like, "Oh, you've been banned for violating the terms of, like, you're falsely doing things." So, I've never watched any of his streams before, but from what people have said, and from watching that stream, this guy's pretty damn toxic. Like, he's just not a good member of the community, and Overwatch is really trying to come down on that.
Yeah.
But the reason why it's news is because the guy he's pointed to mostly during his fit of rage after he got banned, he pointed out that Blizzard only reacted after somebody made a thread about him on Reddit. And he's like, "Oh, you know, this is it. Blizzard listens more to Reddit than they do to their own reporting system." And that's kind of something that a lot of people are pushing down on, and like it does kind of make sense for
Makes
the
sense. Since he reported 5 people, like in the beginning of his stream, they can't go through all of them immediately. Like, they're gonna listen to Reddit. First of all.
Yeah, and also the thing is, apparently this guy's notorious for it. He does it all the time. Like, it wasn't just this game,
Reddit
he's like,
picks
"Oh,
it
I'm
up.
gonna..."
Yeah, you get notorious for it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the kind of thing of, like, it does feel a little bit like, yeah, Overwatch, you really should be checking these reports more often, and if people are, like, false flagging. But also, this is not a good excuse for you to be like, "Oh, I wouldn't have got caught if it wasn't for that meddling Reddit."
Yeah,
like,
I don't think it's a case of Blizzard needing to check their reports more often. I think it's just like having so many reports coming through this.
Yeah,
It's not
there's
going
just
out.
so much, and there's a lot of, like, automation.
Yeah.
And, you know, saying "fuck you," they're like, "Okay, well, that's not real," and they move on, and they have, you know, they need to dedicate
and then
more
having it
time.
highlighted.
He does
Yeah.
make a point of,
Specifically.
like, if you're you serious? I've been doing this for, like, months, and you just caught me now? Like, how fucking dare you? You just catch me now. Like, he never says he didn't do anything wrong.
No.
He just, he's...
I mean, that kind of phrasing makes him sound like he knows he's doing something
Oh,
wrong.
no, he
you caught
definitely
me now.
Yeah, he
You
knows.
finally caught me.
No, it wasn't.
Doing something
It's
that's
not like
not
it wasn't.
allowed.
You finally caught me. It's like, now you do something you haven't done anything
okay.
for fucking months. Like, let me just do what I fucking want to do. Like,
yeah, and it's honestly, like...
And he's pathetic.
Yeah, I encourage anybody to watch this video because this person is pathetic.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he got banned for 72 hours. I understand that streaming is his life, but he literally, like, somebody tells him to act like an adult, and he literally walks around the shed that he's in going, "Look how I live. Do I look like an adult?" He starts, like, having a hissy fit. He goes into his thing. He's like, "There's no beers in here. I'm gonna have to drink warm beer." And it's like, Jesus Christ, this
I
guy
would
needs to
also-
calm down.
I can agree with him on that last point though, that sucks.
Well, yeah,
I'd also
Warmby does
like
suck.
to point out that he's actually banned over the free weekend, so
Oh.
was it even really a ban?
Yeah, that's also a thing. Like, it's like
He gets
all of
to
it-
stream for the next 3 days going, like, look at me leveling up.
Yeah, look at me opening
The-
these loot
the
boxes.
progression back to wherever.
and so
Mid
yeah.
competitive. That's
Goals.
not good.
Yeah, yeah.
It's it's just a thing where like Blizzard, they're really trying to focus in on like the more toxic members
Yeah.
of the community and everything, and it's good that they are doing that, and it's good that they are listening to communities that are like, hey, hey,
Yeah,
you
well,
know,
they're making examples of people.
yeah, exactly, and that's honestly what they need to do because Overwatch is still really bad.
Gotta say, I do like me a good witch hunt.
Oh boy, there's none of those happening at the moment though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right.
But yeah, that's really most of the story there. It's just like this guy was an asshole. It puts
Let's
more of a
laugh at him.
highlight on Blizzard systems, and also yeah, let's just laugh at him. It's fun to laugh at people.
Yeah.
But yeah, everybody at home, I encourage you to watch the video. It's
It's pretty
fine.
funny.
It is really funny.
I was watching it on mute just now. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, no, the guys.
Yeah, it's not quite as bad as like they deleted my WoW account.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, no remote
No
in the
video's
butt,
gonna be like
but
that. Yeah.
Yeah, but
it's
somehow
good.
somehow it's pretty much just as pathetic.
yeah,
So
Because this guy is older.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. This guy's older, and his. You
Hey
know.
guys, we just had Overwatch news for the first time in 2 weeks.
I know. Oh,
also Mercy's getting nerfed.
Yeah.
Did we miss out on Overwatch?
We
news the
didn't
last 2
talk
weeks?
about
Yeah.
Overwatch last time.
yeah. It's almost like everybody's getting over Overwatch.
Overwatch.
Overwatch. Ah.
We'll be back to review the Christmas skins when they come out.
Oh,
Well, guys, you know why we probably haven't been talking about Overwatch in a while?
why is that?
It's because our new favorite topic is Battlefront 2.
Oh, yeah. yeah. The
And
new
guess-
bread and butter.
Oh, it's the bread and butter, and honestly, it's the gift that just keeps on giving. It
Yeah.
really is. EA, what are you doing? So,
Well, it's not what EA is doing at the moment. It's what Belgium and Hawaii is doing.
oh yeah, it is what Belgium and Hawaii are doing, and honestly, we're gonna talk more about those. But first, what's EA doing?
Okay.
Because
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
catch
good.
it up from when we last left off.
Okay.
So from when we last left off, I expressed my disappointment because the day, if not hours after we recorded the last podcast, we got more information about
Yeah.
it. Basically, the reason, so they've removed the loot boxes from
Completely. The
like
whole
they've-
system's gone.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
temporarily. Yeah, so they temporarily removed it, which, they're like, oh, we're going to tweak it, and we got that information. Then shortly after, we got information that they didn't just remove it off of their own good graces, they were contacted by Disney themselves, who said, hey, we've got a new movie coming out soon. Your company is reflecting very badly on our new movie that's coming out.
Yeah.
And when Big Disney hits you with the hammer,
Yeah.
you fucking listen.
Yeah. When Disney's like, hey, we control the world. You stop doing that. It's like, yeah, okay, God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If there is a god, it is Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is though, these tweaks, have you looked into what they actually are? There's been some rumors passed around as to what it actually is, and they are reducing the prices for loot boxes, but increasing the amount of time it takes to earn the currency.
Oh.
So in the end,
Yeah,
it means nothing.
it's exactly
No.
the same, yeah.
Yeah.
Granted though, it reminded me a lot of something Blizzard did when World of Warcraft came out. There was a lot of backlash over rested experience. Yeah. The original mechanic was after a certain amount of playtime, you earn half the amount, like 50% XP. And players were just not having it. That's completely stupid. In order to fix it, they went, okay, well, for the first X number of hours, you earn double XP, and then
Yeah.
it's half the XP of all the quests.
God.
They're like,
Yeah, that's-
shut up. Also, here's a punishment.
Yeah. God. But it's so basically what happened was Bob Iger, who's Disney's chief executive, he said that he was alarmed by the backlash from fans over how Battlefront 2's microtransactions were implemented. He heard from a person familiar with the matter So as a result, Jimmy Pitero, who's the head of customer products and interactive media at Disney, they're the ones that actually contacted EA and were like, hey, you need to sort this shit out.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's... Here's the thing. The game is still fucked. Because all the progression is purposely elongated so that people spend money on it.
Yeah.
Like, that's, like... It just baffles my mind. Like, honestly.
Although I've got to say, it feels so good to watch a publisher being put in his place. Like we've seen good publishers put bad developers, give them a talk to before, but to have EA spoken down to...
Honestly, it's so good. And it's like I think we mentioned it last week. Like a few years ago, EA won the worst company in the world, and they're probably a pretty good contender. Even though, honestly, BP should probably win every year.
Most years.
Yeah.
But so basically, EA has come out once again, assuring us that. It's not gambling, guys. Please, it's not gambling. We're trying to. The statement in full is we're trying to create a fair and fun game experience is critical to the importance of EA. The crate mechanics in Star Wars Battlefront 2 are not gambling. A player's ability to succeed in the game is not dependent on purchasing crates. Players can also earn crates through gameplay without spending money at all. Oh, that's definitely a good defense. Yeah. You can. Yeah.
So, yes, EA, those things are technically true.
Yeah.
The problem is the amount of time and progression that you have to make in order to get those free.
Guys, gambling isn't gambling because you can get a job and earn that money other ways. Like, you just gotta work hard for it, you know? You can either work hard for it, or you can give us money for a random chance to be able to get the money quicker, you know?
Yeah.
It's not
You
gambling.
want more money? Just wait more time.
Exactly. Jeez. And honestly, like, it's ridiculous.
No,
it's
stupid.
It really is. And the basically there was a article that came out that was talking about they spoke with an industry analyst about the microtransactions, and what he said was essentially, gamers are overreacting and that games are too cheap.
But there is something about this industry. What is it, analyst?
Yeah, so basically, is a CNBC piece. They did an interview with an industry analyst. The industry analyst was like, "Oh, games are too cheap to begin with. You know, all of this stuff." It's
defending EA.
Yeah, basically defending EA. Courtesy of @mombot, MOM-bot. We say mom in Australia. Yeah. They have discovered that the industry analyst Evan Wargreen. Is not only an industry analyst hired by EA, but also by Comcast, which is CNBC's parent company.
Yep.
So that's a wonderful little bit of news that we got there.
Yeah. Totally unbiased.
Yeah, totally unbiased. It's just, like, honestly, all of this stuff coming out is the most ridiculous. Like, it just keeps snowballing, and it's absolutely ridiculous.
More from EA.
Oh god, yeah, it doesn't stop.
No.
So, basically, this one technically involves Overwatch, because both Battlefront 2 and Overwatch are actually being under investigation by the Gambling Authority in Belgium, and they have actually found it to be gambling.
So we got the results.
The results are back. They're encouraging the entirety of Europe to enforce this as a rule.
Yeah.
But I don't know how much sway Belgium has in that regard, but this is actually huge news.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that somewhere has gone...
Yeah. Well, I know... the UK was doing an investigation, or at least
Mm.
talking about an investigation, but the fact that Belgium's come out and done it, and we have the results, and they say yes, it very much is gambling, then that's definitely going to prompt more.
That means
more
England
into
was
it.
just dragging their feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And like, because we have similar rules in China, but I don't know how much it's considered gambling, but that's why they enforce
With
you
China,
need to know the percentages.
They don't make them change it. They just you got to know the odds. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have different gambling rules, but they have apparently Europe is quite a good place with regulation of gambling.
Yeah.
Which hopefully this creates a knock-on effect there.
Well, it looks like Belgium came to its conclusion pretty quickly. The article Ryan linked to all of us.
Yeah, I'd say they opened the game and were like,
it
yep.
was like, yep, this is a random chance to get a thing. That's gambling.
Yeah, exactly. And you spend real money, there's a random chance to get a thing. It's no matter what the nature of the thing is, it's gambling. Even if it's cosmetic, you're still you have a random chance. It triggers the same parts of your brain as if you are
It
gambling.
doesn't matter if it's cosmetic or what the hell Battlefront was doing.
Yeah.
You know.
Just give it a really satisfying noise when you unlock it, and people will go crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, it's not only Battlefront, the new Need for Speed game, not as many people are fans of the Need for Speed series as Battlefront, so
No,
it hasn't got as much publicity, but Need for Speed has almost the exact same system as Battlefront, another EA property.
Yeah.
EA has actually gone back and they have changed some of the things in it, but they haven't completely removed it like they have with Battlefront, because they're not being pressured to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. So Chris Lee, he's the representative from Hawaii, has actually come out, standing in front of a camera to make an announcement about steps being taken to combat the predatory behavior of video game publishers.
The representative of what, sorry?
Hawaii.
Oh, just he speaks for Hawaii.
He speaks for Hawaii.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he gives particular emphasis to EA and Battlefront 2. And he said, here we go. So he's labeled it a Star Wars themed online casino designed to lure kids in with spending money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He honestly, it's dead on the money.
And
he also said it's a trap, which is quite funny.
There is actually a Star Wars themed online casino.
Oh, yeah, you know
100%.
there is.
Yeah. And honestly, the entire statement is very long.
Yeah,
but
it's good though. He looks like a
honestly is.
dad, and
He does look
he
a bit
gives
like a
dad
dad.
vibes,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
good. He's protecting children, not just his.
Yeah. Well, it's gambling because there is a chance to get something better.
Yeah.
Even when you're in cosmetic.
And it's a really terrible thing to learn at a young age.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, EA isn't. This isn't the only thing that EA has done this week as
No.
well.
I mean, obviously.
Obviously.
EA is our new Overwatch.
EA is our new Overwatch. So EA, so Plants vs Zombies. People may know of it.
Specifically the Garden Warfare games, I believe.
No, so the original
the
creator
original.
of, so his name is George Fan. He's the original creator. Reportedly, he's been let go by EA. So, if you don't know, EA purchased PopCap ages ago, as
At
with-
least
with-
7 years ago.
Yeah.
Has it been long 3 years? If so,
Yeah. So basically, what's happened from here is he detests his property being used for free to play mechanics and
He
all of
doesn't
that kind of
like
stuff.
free.
He doesn't like it. And so basically what they're saying is it was originally reported that he was fired because he refused to work on freemium games. But what actually happened, which is honestly just as bad, he was let go because they weren't able to give him any work because they were like, okay, well, we won't put you on any of the freemium games. And they just didn't have any work for him.
Yeah.
because
That's all they have.
That's all they fucking do.
Yeah.
And it's honestly, it's really sad. Like, the original Plants vs. Zombies, Plants vs. Zombies 2 even, really good games.
They were fun.
Yeah. Garden Warfare, like...
You know, I never played it, but when I saw it looked fun.
Number 1 was apparently pretty shit. Number 2 was great, but it got overshadowed by the fact it was pay to win and, like, just, like, real bad in that way. But apparently it was a good game besides that.
I liked the concept,
but it's
because
damnable.
this is, before Overwatch, the concept of a colourful FPS, multiplayer FPS, I was like...
played Team Fortress 2.
Yeah! But that's, even Team Fortress 2 has a pretty, like, bland palette.
Yeah, that's true.
But I remember seeing that. I think I saw it at... Oh, yeah. But I think I remember seeing that at EB Expo and just being like, wow, colourful, I love it. I will never buy an Xbox, but...
Yeah.
So I was never going to play it. But, you know.
So basically, so here's what it's got here. So Macmillan, he proposed a sequel, well, EA proposed a sequel to Plants vs. Zombies originally, which is called Plants vs. Zombies 2, It's About Time. And they proposed that it would have a pay-to-win model that supports in-app purchasing. And Fan was like, I don't know, I don't think that it's a good idea. And then, sorry, I've completely misunderstood this story. He was fired several years ago. This isn't recent.
No,
he was okay.
Yeah.
I thought this was recent.
No.
I've misunderstood the story.
This is the information just coming out about the fire.
Yeah. So he was apparently fired on the spot.
Yeah. Like,
this was the thing that's updated. He was actually laid off because they had nothing for him to work on.
Zombies 2 that you said you liked.
Yeah,
That's the one they're talking about.
That's right. Yeah, fuck. Yeah. Damn. But it's like still. I don't actually even remember it being pay to win. It's probably because it's been a while ago and I've kind of merged it together with Plants vs. Zombies 1.
Well, I only ever played it the first one.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I didn't play it at all.
I played it on so many different devices though.
I had the like extra bits that came with The Sims 3 Halloween for like pre-ordering it. That was fun. The pea shooter shot away the zombie Sims.
That's right. I remember that.
If you didn't
that
have
does
them,
sound
the zombie
pretty good.
Sims are just in your garden all the time, and
Oh.
I'm like, please stop.
Don't eat my flowers.
Yeah, because they would though.
So, have you guys ever played Clicker Heroes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
might just have.
Yeah. So Clicker Heroes, it's actually a pretty fun game. They're releasing Clicker Heroes 2. And interestingly enough, the guy that made it, so Playosaurus, is the developer behind it.
Yeah.
They've come out and they've basically said that he really doesn't like free-to-play games, because originally it was free-to-play, and this new one, he's decided, no, we're doing away with free-to-play.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, in his own words, the mere existence of real-world money purchases puts an ugly cloud over the player's experience, with the persistent nagging feeling of my game could be so much better if I just spend a few dollars. That alone feels terrible. Which is...
But it's the truth. Like,
It's
you
so
honestly,
true.
when you play a free game, you're kind of like, eh.
It would be easier if I just bought this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. And basically he's explained his decision just basically saying that because of ethical and game design reasons, it honestly feels like a better choice to do that. And I honestly agree with him. Like, to be fair,
agree.
I did only play Clicker Heroes because it was free to play. But I never had the intent of spending... Yeah, it's a good way to get you in. But I never went in with the intent of spending money.
Yeah.
So
But
that's
also,
honestly
if it's
a net
like a $5
zero
game,
result.
like, yeah, sure. Here, have $5.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly. Like, Clicker Heroes was a fun kind of, like, background game. You could just kind of click on things while you're watching a video or something. Like, it's...
This is a really interesting
that
point
carpal
because
tunnel.
with all the problems with EA and microtransactions within AAA titles, a lot of people aren't recognizing just how big an impact it's going to have on the mobile market. Just yet, I've been watching local Facebook pages and groups, and they don't seem to understand that if these microtransactions are found to be gambling, then that's going to affect most games out there.
Yeah,
most
that's
free
actually
games.
a really interesting thing happening in Love Nikki right now. There's been a lot of events recently, and, you know, events typically, you know, encourage you to spend money so that you can complete the outfit sets.
Of course.
And there's an event coming that has 5 outfit sets in the space of maybe 5 days, which is very hectic. The maximum we've seen before is 2, and that was over like 2 weeks. But in this situation, you need to save up 7,200 gems, which is the premium currency, in order to get every single one. And there is a gambling aspect to it, so that's why it is 7,020, because it should be near the 2k, but because of the gambling aspect, maybe you'll only get to spend 2k. Maybe, but probably not. And it's a lot of people are like on the Facebook going like, why are you giving us so many events? Why are you so money hungry? And they're coming out with a lot of like...
they're running out of time.
Yeah.
Once these regulations go in, and they will, they're on the way.
I'm good. Because it's bad.
It's going to
really
be
bad.
really interesting for developers. I've been trying to figure how the market's going to go next, whether the developers are going to opt for upfront payment for games, or if they'll find another freemium model.
It'll be interesting, but it's just like this optional like payment system is just really bad because people are like, I'm not getting the full game, I'm not getting to participate without it, and because it is a game that has a lot of like competition in it, and you know, if you have those good outfits, you get up high. So yeah, it's interesting seeing all the people with the backlash, because when I started playing 2 months ago, I think like 2 months ago, it wasn't like this in the community. Everyone was like, yeah, I pay money here and there, you know, it's fine, I don't feel the pressure to. And now all of a sudden people are like, I am pressured to.
Yeah.
But to be fair,
Same.
I've spent more money on the game than I thought I would because of the events. I want these special outfits.
Oh, well, I always spend money when it's like the specials. When it's like the daily special, it's like a 24-hour special, and it.
But did you know they changed that system?
Yeah, now
they changed that. It used to be you could only get one of each of those specials, but I bought one of the specials recently, and I got it again today. And I should not be able to do that, but they're like, hey, just more money. It doesn't help you in the game whatsoever, this outfit, having it again. But you can pay us money if you would like. So,
there's actually something that I forgot to bring up before. It's shit-talking EA, so I really want to bring it back.
That's fair.
So, after EA removed the loot boxes, they had to go back and explain themselves to their investors.
Oh god.
Here's my favourite thing. EA has said to their investors, the removal of loot boxes has not affected the money that we've earned at all. There's no change in the money, projected earnings, nothing has changed because of the removal of these loot boxes. And honestly, besides the fact that, maybe they're shit-talking to investors just so they can be like, we're big, we're big up this. But honestly, the fact that, like, because microtransactions do actually make up a big portion of the earnings that EA makes. Like, I've seen things, I think about 28% of their money is earned through microtransactions.
Yeah, which is quite a bit.
Which is quite a bit, considering, like, the physical game sales is still huge. And that's, that takes up a big portion of it. But then there's also digital sales in there somewhere, and also merchandise is in there as well.
But 28% on a game that has an upfront payment is massive.
Yeah, exactly.
That's absolutely.
And it's honestly, I feel like they're lying, so I feel like it's not that much, but that just makes me go, EA, you're stupid. But if they're not lying, then their entire fucking argument of like, games are too expensive, that shit goes right out the window.
Either they're lying to investors, and that's just bad.
Yeah.
Or their whole argument falls apart, and it's pretty funny.
Either way, it's lose-lose for them, and that's honestly, I had that like at the tip of my mind. I kept stalling because it's like, I know there's something else, but we moved on anyway. But just wanted to bring that back. So let's move back to Clicker Heroes.
Okay.
So this is what the developer has said. So we've experienced this many times in the past. As a result, Clicker Heroes 1 is kind of a Frankenstein of a game. Our hands have always been tied by the fact that we couldn't easily change things that people had paid for.
Yeah.
Which is obviously also another good point. If you pay just upfront for the game, then you have, you've got some semblance of, okay, well, people have paid for this game, we can change it as we need to.
Yeah.
But if somebody has bought a specific hero in Clicky Heroes, if you go ahead and change that, people are going to be angry because,
Imagine,
either,
if you had to buy Overwatch heroes, and I bought Mercy, and then they nerfed her the way they are doing.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
I would never
Imagine
hit the
if you
end
bought
of
a
it.
compulsory expansion for a game, and then when you wanted to go back and try the old stuff, they wouldn't let you.
Yeah. And he also said that games are not inherently addictive. Games are inherently addictive.
Okay, yeah, there we go.
That alone is not a bad thing until it gets abused, which is honestly, in this circumstance, this is which is why I love this article as opposed to, because obviously EA isn't... They're not running free-to-play games, they're just running a premium game like it is a free-to-play game.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's where it comes in that, it's even worse than a predatory free-to-play game, because at least, the barrier to entry for free-to-play games is, I'm not paying any money, I'm paying for this with the psychological damage you're doing to me by attacking me with, hey, you can pay this, you can easily, you can speed this up with our gems. Yeah, exactly. So, did any of you guys actually play Marvel Heroes?
No, because I don't like to waste my time.
Yeah, that's fair. I keep asking if you guys have done the thing that's in the article. Have you noticed that? I'm finding it annoying when I say it.
Yeah,
Ryan, have you ever played Marvel Heroes?
As a matter of fact, Christopher, I have.
There we go.
So, I played it when it first came out because it was, when Diablo 3 came out, I had actually never played a Diablo game before. And I was like, hey, I quite enjoy Diablo 3. And then I was right in the Marvel movies are coming out. I'm really excited about them. And they're like, it's a Diablo style game with Marvel heroes. I was in. It's free to play. I was in.
Yeah.
Played a little bit of it. Is a bit too free to play for me when the game first came out. Couldn't unlock any of the heroes I wanted. Wasn't that interested in it.
Yeah.
I tried it again because, that thing that MMOs do where it's you made an account when it first came out and now you have all the cool shit people can't get anymore.
That's true.
Yeah.
So I tried it again, still wasn't that interested in it, but apparently the systems were a lot better. Well, the story about it now is that, so not only has Marvel Heroes, this is a bit of old news, but Marvel Hero, they're ending their servers. So their servers are completely going down. The game's being shut down, which is unfortunate, but if their servers are being shut down, then obviously they're not getting the traction that they needed. It's, the game's going downhill.
Better just kill it.
Yeah. So this is, not too long ago, about a month ago, the game actually came out for consoles. And they released a big pack of heroes and stuff that you can get. And so a lot of people, this being a free-to-play game, they've sunk a lot of money into this game.
Yeah.
The people on PC had gotten this pack of heroes quite a bit ago, but the people on console had only just gotten it. So a lot of people, they've sunk a lot of money so they can get all these heroes, only to now get the news that the servers are being shut down.
Yeah, which is... Yeah, upsetting.
Which really sucks. The people for PC, they are upset because, this is another thing with those free-to-play games. If you're, even if you've got a subscription, or if you've got, or if you've paid for the game outright, it eventually gets shut down. Yeah. It sucks, but that happens.
It feels like releasing it on console was a last-ditch effort to regain the traction they wanted. They didn't get there, and so the servers...
They were never able to get the traction they expected.
No.
Yeah, no, it was... And I feel like it was, Diablo itself, I wouldn't say that it's a niche genre, but trying to combine superheroes, they're both in themselves, are kind of...
They had quite a big budget on it. They were expecting, for what it is, they had a big budget, but they were expecting, Marvel movie style numbers. But what they got was, Marvel animated series for children, the children's ones style numbers. And then they were like, oh.
Yeah, no, I'm inclined to agree with Ryan. It sounds like they saw one good thing and another good thing, but it just didn't work together.
Yeah, it didn't have the, hey, this will get all the Diablo players and it will get all the people watching Marvel movies.
Of course, it's not going to
that's
get
how
all
it's
the
gonna
Diablo
get.
players. They'll start playing Diablo.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
still playing Diablo 3.
Yeah. And it's off the back of what George has said. Watch Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes. That's honestly very good TV show.
Okay.
Anyway, but yeah, so it was it is kind of disappointing, like especially for those people that have bought these heroes, because it's a free-to-play game. You go, you buy these heroes, and it feels like, okay, I bought these heroes, I have them forever? Because there's kind of an expectation with a game that it's like, eventually this game's online will die, or if it's an MMO, eventually it will die.
But
there's something about...
That usually happens naturally, though.
Yeah, there's something about just, I've bought $400 worth of microtransactions for this game, which is one person's experience, and then the game's going to be shut down. There's no way he's going to get $400 worth of use out of these heroes.
Yeah, no,
And I'm also
needs to
questioning
be-
whether he'd get $400 worth of use out of them if
Ever,
the service
but-
were longer.
Yeah, and that's also a very good point.
I think that there maybe needs to be some sort of legislation put in, because that's not fair.
that is not fair.
Like, this is not okay.
I don't see any.
I
real
think that
issue
there
with
should
it.
be a
Well,
time a time lockout. Like, if you're gonna let people spend $400 on something, you can't just the next day be like, hey, bye.
Well, they didn't know he was going to spend $400.
Yeah,
No, but I think
And
there
they're
should
not
have
gonna
been
put a
things
cap
to
on a
put.
time.
I think that there should
why
be
would they?
once the company knows. I think they should stop
Yeah.
their things. Like,
Well, if it becomes just a financial impossibility, and which, let's be honest, Marvel Heroes was reaching that point.
yeah,
they
but they would
lost
have
their
known that a
put it
long
onto
time
console.
ago.
They went, okay, we tried, we milked as much out of this as we can. It's time for this to go.
I think you just can't treat free-to-play games like a permanent service.
Yeah.
No.
You can't treat
I
it-
feel like this is a lot more a consumer problem than
Yeah.
one that the developers have to deal with.
There's also something about free-to-play games that they feel a lot more temporary. I don't know what the
I go through
like
them
it's
so quickly.
Yeah, because like at least because like free-to-play games, in order to maintain free-to-play, there needs to constantly be a server active.
Yep.
Because people need to buy the transactions, those need to be verified, those need to go through. It always needs to have a server, so it's always eventually going to end. At least with a game, it feels a bit more, I guess, brick and mortar. Like it's, you bought a game, you have the game, the online might be shut down.
I mean, that's
Always
been-
online
that was
games
the
are a bit shit
biggest
though, but
problem, moving between console generations recently. You see everyone's getting up in half about backwards compatibility from the Xbox One to the 360, and all the games that they've purchased that they now just simply cannot play because they traded in their 360 for the Xbox One.
yeah, and
Which,
honestly,
frankly, I think is stupid.
yeah, I know. It's honestly, that's a problem that has been invented by
Yeah.
GameStop / EB Games. Like
Yeah.
they've
Look,
invented this issue.
I saw the Xbox. I looked at the Xbox One and it came out, and I bought it. I did not
Also,
sell my 360. I made a promise to myself that I'm not getting rid of this console until Red Dead Redemption gets backwards compatibility because I want to keep playing this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, like the Xbox One said, like it's not backwards compatible.
Yeah.
Like they were open about it. So, what are you doing, people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, the fact that they're starting to now bring in backwards compatibility with some games, it's like, nobody cares anymore. They only cared at the start of the console generation.
Yeah. Like, you should've done that
Microsoft's
ages ago.
pushing really hard to try and get in people's good graces.
It is, because they're trailing so far behind.
Sony has won the generation,
Yeah.
and so Microsoft is just trying to mess around as the underdog.
Just
Hey,
trying to be
like,
there.
Yeah.
cross-platform
Trying to be
play.
in the conversation.
Look what Sony's not doing.
Guys, we have Lucky's Tale. We have Lucky. This is reason enough to get our new console, right? But just an update to this story. So, Microsoft specifically, it doesn't say anything about PS4, but Microsoft themselves have a 90-day grace period. So some of these people are actually able to get their money back because of this system, and that's
I like that.
good.
Yeah.
So, hey, there's something. So they've got a 90-day grace period, and they got Lucky's Tale.
they-
Buy an
they-
Xbox One X today!
There's Microsoft swooping in. It's like, look at us, we're good people.
Yeah, exactly. Sponsor us.
Yeah, please sponsor us. We've
We'll
never
s- we'll-
talked shit before.
Yeah,
I
we'll say
literally
nothing
didn't
but
say
good
that
things.
I would never buy an Xbox earlier.
I never called your new console name the dumbest thing I've ever fucking heard.
Yeah, no, never.
I just called it pretty fucking
It's
stupid.
definitely not Xbox One excessive.
God. So,
I'll see myself out.
yeah, please. So there's a game that's coming out on Kickstarter. So the game itself is called Project Phoenix. Basically, what's happened is they've been accused of embezzling money using this Kickstarter.
That's too early.
Yeah,
A Kickstarter embezzling? I've never heard that.
yeah.
Never happened.
No.
So basically, what's happening is they have their game, which is called Project Phoenix, which they got on Kickstarter. What has been accused of happening is that the Kickstarter for it, the money is actually being used to fund their failed Kickstarter, which was for a game called Tiny Metal.
Okay, so I was hoping that this would happen. I was going to ask further in the article if they had a previous Kickstarter. Now, knowing that they are, the name Phoenix
Yeah.
makes a whole lot of sense. They died and now they're back.
Oh
And they're ready
god,
to
and they're
kill.
being accused of embezzlement. So basically, what's happened from here is that it's become a bit of a shit show. Basically, both of them are fighting each other because Hiroki Yura is the person who has the Kickstarter.
Yes.
And the person accusing them of doing the embezzlement, their name is Tariq Lacey. But now, God, Hiroki has accused Tariq of sexual harassment. And so now we're just going back and forth with accusations.
So
and
it went
feels...
from a legitimate accusation of embezzlement to mudslinging.
Yeah, like it's... Honestly, I don't know what I don't think that there has actually been anything specifically about the sexual harassment. I think it was just there was sexual harassment kind of thing.
Oh.
And so honestly, we don't know what's going on. So basically, so apparently there's been rumors about this Kickstarter since 2013, which honestly, a Kickstarter running this long is like, oh god.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of the way it goes sometimes, I guess.
Isn't that a video game like Kickstarter like staple that you have to go too long so
Yeah.
people forget about your game?
Exactly.
And then it's
Honestly,
outdated when
every
it's
time.
released.
Although I'll have you know that it only took me a year and a half to get my Ouya, and boy was I excited when I got it. I immediately put it in a drawer and have never touched it since. Actually, I did play it once, and I was like, oh, this has no good games on it. And then there was Super Amazing Frog, but I never got a chance to play it, but now it's on PC, so I don't care. Anyway, so Project Phoenix itself raised over $1 million from its backers before
Ooh.
failing to meet the deadline.
What was the deadline?
In 2015, so that's actually a really good question. It doesn't have it in the article here, and I didn't bother to look it up. But yeah, so it didn't hit its deadline even with $1 million.
$1 billion.
So basically, this is the statement itself. So 2 months ago, I was hired at Area 35. I had learned that this company funded through the project was running a scam through Kickstarter. They gathered several famous creators and ran a campaign known as Project Phoenix. They used the $1 million received from the campaign to fund the Tiny Metal project. Here's how it happened. After they received the Kickstarter money for Project Phoenix, they subsequently shut down their original company, Creative Intelligence Arts, and then used the same money to establish Area 35, pay the staff and equipment, and make Tiny Metal.
Oh
And-
my god. god!
Honestly,
Here's
it's
the
the
thing, though.
shadiest shit.
I did Tiny Metal sell any well?
I don't even
'cause
think the
I
game is
believe
out
that
yet.
their plan was Tiny Metal will sell and we'll be able to make their Project Phoenix.
Yeah.
But
Like, the
that's
thing
dumb.
is, that's how Kickstarter works. If people
Yeah.
wanted to buy this game, it would have been funded.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And so basically,
This is people that can't take critique. This is what
Yeah.
this is.
Yeah.
You need
what's
to
happening.
give people critique and they need to learn how to do it. Otherwise, please leave the industry.
Take the insults and then don't embezzle.
yeah.
Like, take the insults and better yourself.
Just make a game that people want to play, maybe.
Yeah.
Also, people stop kickstarting stuff.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get your money back.
So
Keep
basically,
kickstarting stuff. I want to make games.
Use a
so
different. Just don't use Kickstarter.
yeah.
Because if it doesn't go through, they still get your money. People still get your money.
Yeah.
You I think it's
GoFundMe.
Indiegogo and
Indiegogo.
GoFundMe. It goes back if it falls through.
Right.
There's
Actually,
settings.
so Kickstarter has, I think it might actually be the other way around. I think it's Indiegogo is always flexible funding, but Kickstarter has the choice of flexible funding, and flexible funding is just, you know, the goal is however much we we set a goal, but we
Yeah.
get the money regardless of how much we earn.
Yeah.
Which is honestly,
It's
don't
shitty.
support things with flexible funding.
No.
It's shitty unless it's something like, oh, we want to make a board game, and you get the book, you know, because they got to build the board game.
Yeah.
And that's they kind of use it as a sales platform, which is not
Yeah.
what it's supposed to be. But
Yeah.
it's
Granted,
you know,
it's a lot cheaper than a sales platform.
yeah, that's very true.
Just like read it and like just be sure that it's gonna get made. Because like there are some things that legitimately the reason for flexible funding is that you know they have stretch goals, and not just stretch goals. They have like under goals. Like okay, if we can't get like a full board game, we'll get the starter board game, and then after that we'll move forward.
Yeah.
So that sort of thing requires flexible funding, but please just like make sure that it actually needs it.
So so they reached out for comment from the developer of Tiny Metal and Phoenix, whatever it was. I just said it, but Project Phoenix. And basically, what they've said is that the post was posted by a staff whose contract was bought out due to him being a toxic employee who had sexually harassed our female staff amongst many other problems. The post is factually incorrect and thus was deleted from our account. That's all we have to say for now. We're looking into releasing legal documents and further proofs after discussing this with our lawyer. Yuri added there wasn't more details he could offer, but he said 3 witnesses were there at the time. And then from here, it just gets back and forth. It's like, no, the statement about me being toxic and sexually harassing a staff member is not true. He's reacting to my statement with libel. And then honestly, from this point, it's both of them just kicking each other back and forth. Like, honestly, these claims, they both claim to have proof. We're gonna find out the truth eventually. Embezzlement is a really shitty thing to do, as is sexual harassment.
Hey, how about they're
But-
all toxic bad people?
Yeah, sometimes everybody is shitty in a situation.
Sometimes there's
it
no
seems
good
that
people.
way. Yeah.
A lot of the time, there's no good people.
That's
But we're talking about game development.
a
A
very
lot of the time, there's no good people.
Yeah.
exactly. So this is something that I haven't actually heard about, which is quite interesting. There's a company that's
You know everything.
I do know everything.
Ryan's a god.
I am a god. That's why I'm reading off my phone and not my notes right now, because I forgot them.
Because you already know them.
I already know them. I'm so smart. I
did so
didn't
well.
fuck up one of the earlier stories. We can forget about that. So a company called... Oh god, why am I so bad at this?
You've got it.
Vivendi? Vivendi?
I think it's Vivendi.
Vivendi?
Vivendi makes sense.
Yeah. So they're holding off their plans to acquire Ubisoft, which I hadn't heard about, but apparently they're holding off these plans, but they do want to acquire Ubisoft. So basically, apparently they've had them in their sights for a while now, but the French conglomerate says that they won't be proceeding with its plans to acquire it for at least 6 months.
Okay. What does Vivendi do you know?
They're a conglomerate. They do everything.
Okay,
so
it's just like a...
they're in the business of acquiring businesses.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So basically, they own a bunch of stocks for that. And basically, the tipping point is 30% of the stocks for Ubisoft, and so basically they could take over Ubisoft whenever they wanted, because they just need to buy those extra stocks that they need to take over.
Yeah.
But they're not planning on doing it within the next 6 months, but it's looking like it's probably going to become a thing. Yeah. I don't know how this is actually going to affect anything. Like, it's a French conglomerate. It'll own Ubisoft. Ubisoft already does stupid things. Maybe this company is good. I've never heard of them. Who cares? Who knows? Who cares? Probably us, because we're talking about it. But
I mean, let's be honest. There are like 2-3 outcomes. They buy Ubisoft, they're a bad company. It's okay, Ubisoft's not a very good company either, they keep making okay games. They buy Ubisoft, they're a good parent company, they kick Ubisoft into action, Ubisoft starts making good games.
yeah.
And so, this doesn't seem to have any major bearing.
Yeah.
Negatively, at least.
Yeah. So apparently, just reading here, they have about 26% of the stocks at the moment, and so they could, excuse me, it's not going to take much to push that over. They're saying that they don't plan on putting like a change in management or anything like that. They just
it sounds
they
like
want to
they just want to
acquire.
be a cut.
Yeah, exactly, and that's
Which is
if Ubisoft starts making some more money, like that's probably what we're looking at there.
Yeah.
Georgia, did you want to talk about Splatoon?
I did. So Splatoon's getting a holiday update, a really big one. There's 4 new maps, there's lots of hairstyles, including a mohawk and really cute pigtails.
I did actually see
they're
the
cute.
hairstyles. They look good.
The
Yeah.
Mohawk Squid Mohawk?
Yeah,
How's that working?
look it up.
I'm gonna look
Everybody have a look. There's new brushes, there's new umbrellas, there's new jewellies. There's a new game mode, but they didn't show that. There's some old game modes revisiting, and there's 140 new clothing and accessory options, which is very exciting. But the thing that I really wanted to talk about is the comments on that video were mainly young children begging Nintendo to not make it subscription based, or please don't add microtransactions. They didn't say the words microtransactions because they were 12-year-olds.
Yeah.
But they're like, please don't make it a paid game. My mum won't let me play the game if I have to pay for bits of the game.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Hearing that, that feels good.
yeah.
Because that means that the parents are finally going, oh no, this is absolutely terrible. Where's all my money going?
Yeah.
Little Timmy,
People
what
are
you doing
listening.
with my credit card?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's very interesting to see all the children that are like, please Nintendo, I'm scared.
Yeah.
Like...
And,
I agree with children.
Yeah.
It is a kid's game.
Because Nintendo's been doing very good.
Yeah, they have.
You're staying well out of it.
Yeah. The literally the only game with that pay-to-win crap on it on the Nintendo Switch is an EA game.
Yeah, it's
Which is
the
NBA.
basketball one.
NBA
Yeah,
2K
that'd be about right.
18, I think.
I think Nintendo's very good with
They
marketing to
understand how to.
children.
They understand how to be family consumer friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And especially now, even if they wanted to jump on the train, I honestly don't think they could justify it, because especially the way that people have been pushing it, and rightfully so, is gambling is being marketed towards kids.
Yeah.
Which
and
is,
this is a family-oriented company,
Yeah,
exactly.
adding microtransactions, adding these gambling mechanics
Yeah.
to games for kids.
Yeah, it's going to specifically reflect that on them.
Yeah.
So honestly, I think this is...
Nintendo knows their market. They know where they sit, and they're
Yeah.
doing a very good job saying that.
It's just
they really
good
are.
job, Nintendo. Please keep doing the good job.
Yeah, and the Switch is performing so well. It's got
Yeah.
good games. It's honestly, hell yeah, the Switch is...
all you fucking
The Switch won.
all you
Yeah.
naysayers at Ryan. This is.
I was a naysayer because I didn't like the launch lineup.
I fought
but-
him on it, and I said no. I think
questioned
the
Switch
timing
at the
out.
beginning.
I think I always from the start. You guys can go back and check and listen to the podcasts, the old terrible ones. I've always been like, I think it's good that they're pacing out the titles. And you know what? Everyone's been like, Thank you for pacing out the title.
Well, it wasn't even that for me. When I looked at the Switch, I'm like, the technology is not going to be there.
It's
to
there,
have a
though.
portable console that then doubles as something you can attach to your TV, that should not work.
But it works.
It does,
It works.
yeah.
Scared the
That's
hell out of
good.
me when it did.
Yeah.
I think it's a godsend that they didn't do Link and Mario at the same time.
No, because
Oh,
they're not
no.
dumb. They're not dumb.
They're not dumb. They know
Didn't
their
have to compete
properties.
with themselves.
Yeah. Except they do.
Yeah, except for they are
In
now.
Smash.
Yeah.
So, this is our last news story, and honestly, I thought it was kind of interesting, so I think we could probably have a bit of a discussion about it. So, Soma, if any of you guys, we actually, if you listen to probably our third episode, we actually did a little review of Soma. But so Soma is introducing an optional safe mode for the game because they're releasing for consoles.
Yeah.
Safe mode.
Yeah, so essentially how this works is it pacifies the monsters in the game. So the monsters, they are...
So it's a walking simulator.
Yes.
Essentially, well, Soma does have some small amounts of puzzles,
I
but
played
yeah,
Soma.
well, Soma is a walking simulator. It's a horror
but it had the
walking
horror,
simulator.
and it
with
had
monsters and puzzles.
Yeah,
which
it had
makes
the
it so much more
monsters.
than a walking simulator.
Yeah, the monsters, there's barely puzzles.
Yeah,
It's
but
like,
it's
walk
still
here,
there.
get the thing, walk there. The challenge is that the monster is roaming, and you have to hide from the monster. That's the entire
Isn't that
challenge of the game.
It feels like Slender Man with story.
Yeah.
That's how I describe it.
Yeah. And that's, and honestly, it's, and that's kind of the thing that that I was thinking that we could discuss, because it's basically a skip combat option it's something interesting. It comes with like games having an easy mode. It's that kind of mindset because it's, honestly, I would have enjoyed Soma a lot more with a safe mode option.
But you don't like horror games, and
That's true.
I honestly don't think you would have, because there would be no game. You would be walking through what I have critiqued is a bland setting with just, a couple of blue and red lights that don't really indicate anything. I was like, oh, what is this prompting? Like, what is about to happen? Nothing. They just like, oh, the red light looks cool. But it didn't even look that cool.
Yeah.
If you have green-based buildings, it just looks like weird Christmas.
Yeah.
It's, the thing with Soma, like... I honestly, at the bit where you're underwater, I just got stuck and gave up because I couldn't actually find where to go.
Well, that's bad game design.
Yeah, that's bad game design. Yeah, it is.
I played a bit more than you, and then I watched the ending because I couldn't be bothered. But I didn't have the time, so I'm like, I'll get the ending. But yeah, it's just this weird. This is a weird move I understand it for other games, but this game has nothing else. If they're taking away the monster, what else is there?
Well, because I think walking simulators, they do have their place. Some of them are like...
I think walking simulators...
alongside the very pretty graphics and nice storytelling.
This doesn't have strong enough graphics, and I think walking simulators have their place when they're built as walking simulators. This is not built as a walking simulator. This is a stealth game. Sort of, like a lazy stealth game, and it just
feels like such a nothing game to me.
It is. It's like you get the story, that's it.
The game itself is in a very vague category. It doesn't really fit with survival horror.
It's not survival.
It's not stealth.
No,
it's just
it just has like a stealth mechanic, and that's the.
Is it just like a weird visual novel?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a more involved visual novel.
And it doesn't have like repercussions or anything. Like I thought
So
there was. I
visual
thought there
novel.
was a thing that there was a choice, but it was not a true choice. I found out. No, so yeah, this is a weird move. I understand it for other games that are,
legitimately.
Yeah,
like I'm trying to imagine Slender Arrival without Slender Man.
No.
Because that's what they're doing, and that's just a terrible game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that I think about it is if you think of Slender Man: The Arrival, but there is still like kind of the foreboding Slender Man, but he doesn't actually come up and kill you. But then also there's actually the notes do kind of the notes
Soma
don't even have a
barely had a
story.
story though.
Soma has a really good story.
It has Soma has a story, but it's barely a story. It's not strong. you get drips of the story throughout an 8-hour playthrough, and it's not 8 hours of a story. It's just
That's one of the reasons I actually really enjoyed Slender the Arrival. It's not a strong story, it's actually a series of small fragmented stories.
But that works with what it is, but without the like adrenaline in you, and you just connecting things.
As soon as your brain goes, I'm not going to lose this game by looking at this guy.
Yeah.
Then the whole horror aspect of it is absolutely.
I think that it needs more stuff. I think you need more to a game if you're going to make it a non-combat game. Because I'm not against those. I'm not against that sort of game, but I think that you need to develop that sort of game.
If they up the graphics, graphics, maybe put a bit more time into the storytelling.
They would need to build an entirely new environment because the environments were very lazily built.
It's not worth looking at.
No.
It's not like
even the base.
Game.
Yeah.
So even the level design stuff, it would have to be an entirely new game.
Yeah, a lot of because a lot of the levels are pretty much a square with like 2 extra bits and like 2 options because you're trying to avoid the monster.
Of course.
Yeah.
So it's just not. There's no puzzle.
And drips of stories over a long time only works if it's a pre-existing property that you can research otherwise. Soma is meant to be itself.
Yeah.
It's meant to be a self-contained
That might
thing.
be it.
Because Slenderman, everyone knows it.
Yeah.
You don't pick up Slenderman Arrival and be like, who the fuck is Slenderman? It's just like some tall Doctor Who bullshit.
Well, the thing is that, by the time you've gotten through the game, you don't have to get very far into the game. You have a very good idea of what's going on.
And with Soma, I really did find there was no pull in the story for me in Soma. It just was like, it's exploring space. Yeah, it's dead space, but horror.
Yeah.
So Dead Space.
Yeah.
Dead
but like
the original Dead Space.
Yeah, like a being hunted thing, and that's the thing. Soma is about being hunted by this AI. That's what's happening. And then it's like, are you AI? It's we've already spoiled this game.
You're a scary face over there. I'm gonna keep wandering towards you because that's where.
And then you're like, is this just a version of me? And then it's like, maybe. It's too vague is the thing. It's too open-ended and it's too vague and it depends on what you find. And I think the charm to it, which some people really do like the game, Micah did really like the game, and I think the charm is the fact that you find what you find, what you allow yourself to find because you're scared of the...
run away from this monster.
Yeah, and without that, it's just, it doesn't have enough story. And I think that games that have non-combat and they have a save mode, I really think they need to be developed that way, and that slapping it on Soma is a mistake.
Fair enough. My personal opinion is just honestly, I'm all for more options. It's, I feel like more options is consumer friendly, but also
you need to be reasonable with it.
Yeah.
More options as in more games with different varied play styles. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
But giving a game with a very specific play style more options is no longer that game.
No.
It's attempting to please everyone with something that originally intended to please.
It's also audience. Who was asking for this?
The Soma fans weren't asking for it.
Well, apparently the guy that made it actually, he was
asking for it.
Yeah, no, he's no, I think that this is a good addition to the game.
Okay, well he's wrong, and he should have made a better game. Honestly, make a sequel to it. There's a lot that they could do with a sequel, and then have that option in the sequel, and make sure that the story is strong enough because not in the first one.
So, I actually have, there's some quote, so he was being interviewed by PC Gamer, and basically, so what he said that, I think the biggest problem with Soma is that the experience of meeting the creatures doesn't really add anything to the themes. They help build the atmosphere, but the stories they generate don't have a lot to do with the game's larger themes of identity and consciousness. Gameplay has to give a rise to personal stories that mirror the narrative, and we're sure that this is going to be the case with both of our upcoming games.
Is he the director of the game, or did he just write it? Because it sounds like he wrote it and someone else directed the game.
He's the founder and director of Frictional Games.
did he? It sounds like he doesn't know what Soma is
Yeah,
about.
I don't think so at all.
Well, he's the director.
I
of the
understand
game.
that, but that's why I'm so
When was it
confused.
released? When was Soma released? What year?
2014 and
14.
up.
No,
14 and up.
2000 at the end of 2015.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's what's like 14 and
So
up.
that was still riding on the tail end of like Outlast and all these survival horror
Yeah.
games.
And the
It feels like
Amnesia.
he really wanted to make a story-driven game, but was sort of pressured to lean towards this
okay.
horror.
Yeah, but he's an
thing.
idiot.
But also, he doesn't know his own creation or
No,
what other people think
yeah.
of it.
And I think this is very much a case of like other people are interpreting this differently, and the major
you're wrong.
pulls,
Like-
the major pulls of Soma are not the story because it's very weak and it's very open to interpretation. And I think that I'm not saying it's a bad story, but I'm saying it's weak and it's not able to hold its own. By itself.
Yeah, you're saying that it's bad.
But no, like
I'm not saying these chicken nuggets
with
make me
the
sound-
creatures, it's good. It works with the creatures, but without them,
Yeah.
I'm not saying these chicken nuggets are bad, but when I ate them, I did get sick.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying they gave me salmonella, but
I'm not
great,
saying
I
it's
tried.
good. I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying
Yeah.
it's fine. But without the creatures, it is bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that is a thing. Like I do believe that he does see it in a different way to the fans.
Yeah,
see
and
it.
I think he's just
And-
out of touch, maybe.
Yeah.
And he should just make a new game that, like, instead
Well,
of trying to.
in his defense,
Yeah.
it sounds like he's suffering from something that I feel like a lot of developers go through.
Yeah.
It's like, this is what I wanted my game to be, and I still see
Yeah,
it as that
but-
game that I wanted it to be, even though it's very much
But
not.
you need to, like, everybody needs to learn that that's not how, like, the
Yeah.
industry works.
Yeah.
People are going to use it the way they want to use it. And
That's what playtesting is
yeah,
and
if you didn't want a horror game, don't make a horror game.
for. I think we've just hit the nail on the head there. That's about it.
so this is I'm gonna read more from what he said because I do think it's quite interesting. So Grip says that the presence of hostile monsters in Soma was originally intended to convey an unpleasant world in which the game takes place in. It takes place to players by delivering a hefty dose of fear and tension. At one point during the development, the team had considered including a death-free mode at launch, but ultimately canned the idea instead to focus on delivering the more core creepy experience.
Okay, I'm going to talk about some spoilers. Every time you die, you are fragmenting your soul because you're being brought back. That's what happens at the end. So a death-free experience does not work with the story. So what the hell?
Also, a thing I do want to mention, this was a very popular mod for Soma, was to remove deaths. So
That's
it was
just
something that
people-
was wanted by the
I
community.
don't care. That's fine. Mods are fine because I just think that this is a stupid thing for a developer to do. I
Yeah.
think they're wasting their time.
Yeah. Just work on a new game.
Make Soma 2 that's more true to your vision then.
Yeah.
As a developer, I want to disagree with you, Georgia. I want to say, well, no, the community has gone and modded it into it, so it can't be that much waste of time. And I want to disagree with you. However, it has been out for such a time.
Well, I think just like
And-
leave it for the mod, you know?
And
Oh, well, because it's coming, because it's coming out for console, you can't mod it.
Oh,
And so they've added the option for the console version. Sorry, continue.
Did they pay
I've
the mod?
completely lost my train of thought. It's gone.
Oh,
hope-
damn it. Sorry.
I hope the developers paid the modder then.
Oh, true.
That is an interesting thought, but I honestly don't think so.
Because apparently they made their game so much better.
Well, because here's the thing.
The model will have some awesome publicity.
Because I think the thing is, when the game first came out, they did talk about how they wanted to add a safe mode to it, but never got the chance, and so the modder did it because they were going to do it but didn't get the chance, and
It's
then
still the
so it's
modder's
like
code.
you know, but they haven't stole the modder's code. They've just implemented the feature they didn't get a chance
Like
to
they
implement.
probably just stole it. It's
No,
not.
if
It
was
doesn't take
planned-
very much.
If it was planned, it means they had worked on it. They've used their own code.
Well, yeah. And also, since they're the original developer, they have so much more tools than modders have.
I'm
There's no way
aware.
they would just steal the code. Like, it's...
I mean,
they've
it's
got their
pretty
own.
easy.
No.
Easy, sure, effective.
Yeah.
Plus, it means they can do safe mode the way they want to.
Yeah, exactly.
I think there's not that many
Po-
ways.
possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly. Instead of having it as the monsters don't kill you, it's more they are aggressive and they come up and scare you, and you can still have your soul fragmenting done that way. It's just not a death thing.
That is actually kind of what they were explaining that it's like.
But that is what
It's-
the game in general is like. You don't see your body beaten to the ground. You just it goes black.
So basically what they've explained is that the monsters, like, they still roam around and stuff, they're just a lot more passive. They've said if you really press your luck and, like, go up to them, you can still die, but it's less, like, they'll still, like, come after you and stuff, but they're just a bit more passive, is basically the idea of it.
So you just made them...
Okay.
So
it sounds like... It just sounds like tuning.
Yeah, it's
So
basically
this is-
tuning.
Yeah, because the way that you said it was, you can't die anymore.
Oh, okay, well, it only became apparent when he actually said his quote that I read. So what have you guys been playing this week?
Destiny 2.
Oh,
Because,
yeah.
obviously.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's been really fun.
It's
The Iron Banner event started this morning, and I've been playing through that and getting some heaps of cool loot, and I'm finally catching up with people. It's like I've been watching all these people at high levels, and like I've been playing since day one. How do they do it? I say I've been playing since day one. We had assignments and stuff to do.
Well, yeah, we did.
So, maybe I understand how they did it.
Yeah, that actually makes sense. That tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, nothing really.
Yeah.
Little PUBG here and there.
A little PUBG.
I've been playing this new really dumb anime game called Crush Fever. It's the one that's advertised on Facebook.
That's how you know it's a quality game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like one of those.
Keep an eye out for Dodgem advertisements on Facebook.
You could. And it's one of those, just like, you have your little character, you can evolve your character, you can get rid of, like, it's a very hero management game, but also bubble pop at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just, like, dumb fun, and also, if you start the game, you can endlessly play, because they don't get rid of your energy that easily. Like, I'm still on 300, I've been playing for, like, 4 days.
Oh, okay.
And I've gone
just
from
there.
yeah, like literally I've been there for so long, and I'm like, hey, can I trust my games to like limit me?
Yeah.
So when you don't limit me, I'm like, I'm actually just really frustrated at you not controlling me.
Yeah. And is it beyond the time that, because I know a lot of free-to-play games, like they to pull you in at the start, they're like, oh, you get so many of these things, you can always just keep going.
So the base that you start at level 1 is 15.
Yeah.
I'm up to 90 energy.
Yeah.
And I'm still at 300. Like, it's filled 300 to 90.
Oh, okay. So it's just
And
like,
it keeps
it's
going
just...
up.
Oh.
So that sounds like a broken game.
Yeah.
Well, it's a free-to-play Facebook game.
Yeah.
So that doesn't sound like
you know what it is?
luring you in. That's broken.
Yeah.
It's just like a bubble pop Fire Emblem Heroes game.
Yeah.
That's what it is, basically.
Okay.
Only you can't just like, there's certain monsters for certain things.
Yeah.
Instead of just like everyone's free to power up everyone else.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Because I saw you play it, and I thought it seemed like basically like there's kind of a genre where they've got like RPGs, and they've kind of just mashed it up with like Connect 3 games, except this one's a bubble pop game instead of a Connect 3 game.
There's no
And so
like cute map for this one. There's no cute like there's no story at all.
Yeah.
They're just like
It's
cute
just-
anime characters.
Just cute anime
It's
characters.
just like
that-
super like anime.
It's just look at this girl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like, here, have this girl. She's a pirate. And I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
Smash, smash, smash. I'm doing so well at this game. My dopamine is off the charts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, so that's most of my experience. I was going to play Overwatch and then just lost interest immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's in a different room.
That's the experience of
Yeah.
Overwatch.
Yeah. That's late Overwatch mood.
Yeah. Georgia?
I've just been playing the same sort of stuff. Animal Crossing, Pocket Camp, Love, Nikki, and Sims Pets.
Yeah.
Yeah, like literally, I've been recording stuff, so
Yeah. Ooh.
catch that.
Catch that. Me. Oh god. I've been playing Animal Crossing Puppet Camp, and that's probably
That's
it.
literally it.
Yeah, that is literally it.
Well, weren't you complaining about the end game last week?
A little bit, yeah. It's kind of gotten slower. But it's like overall, like I don't have. It's weird. It's a free-to-play game. I feel like I have nothing to complain about.
The game.
Although I do have
the whole
complaints.
thing. The whole thing is that you need to remember we got it a month early, and now it is worldwide. So we can't really expect many updates until the coming time.
Yeah,
we know that there's a Christmas event coming. So
Do we?
yes.
Ooh, I'm excited.
You do now.
Yeah, I do now. But yeah, I'm just kind of working on at the moment.
Technically, the game's been out 2 days, so.
Yeah, technically the game's been out 2 days. I've got 36 out of 40 villagers moved into my campsite.
Nice.
I'm doing pretty well.
For 2 days, that's really good.
My pool is almost finished. I really wanted to get the pool, but now it's like, oh, all of my villagers that are like capped at 15 are cute villagers, so now I have to do the cute one, and then it's like, oh god, I need that merry-go-round.
That's the game.
That's the game. But yeah, no, it's I'm having fun with it. Most of my complaints are like,
I don't
this is a
want
free to play
grind.
game. Oh, well, most of my complaints are, this is a free to play game. That's the complaint.
If I had to pay $3.99 up front for this, I would not have complaints.
Exactly.
That's the opposite of everything that we've ever said.
Or is it? I'm tapping my nose.
Yeah, no, it very much is.
Idiot.
Or is it? No.
Stop that.
No, I feel like if it was a pay game, like if you, even if, it's a $3.50 game that, prioritize less the microtransactions and like doing the, and made it so that it didn't progress as slowly. But then again, it's the kind of thing of like, I'm kind of not the right person to be talking about, because although I love Animal Crossing games, I'm not playing this like you should play an Animal Crossing game, which is, you take it slowly, you do your favorite things. I'm min-maxing this game to get as far as I can, and I know that it's against the nature of the game.
Yeah.
So, it's most of my complaints are like, I know this isn't a real complaint.
That sounds like a player who's found a game and is playing it to their playstyle, regardless of the implemented mechanics.
Like, WoW also has taught me to min-max things.
Yeah.
But
but it's heavily encouraged.
Yeah. But I've been taking it a little slower. I've been focusing on my favorite villagers. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm enjoying it more. Yeah.
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 I don't play.
Yeah, that's fair. You should. It's fun.
I played it for all of 20 minutes while I was waiting for a burrito, and then I stopped
Fair enough.
because I got my burrito.
I just feel like you don't need to. I saw an article calling it predatory, and I'm like, so you played it less than 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You saw that it had a premium currency and
Yeah,
left.
and you called it. But the thing is, I've never bought money except for that 99-cent deal, which didn't give me anything. Like, it gave me.
Yeah, it gave you not much.
It didn't give me. It wasn't for the cash I got. I
No.
got for the items.
Yeah.
Guaranteed
Also,
drop
it's
items.
like. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, it was like, this is what you get.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
Yeah.
It was. They.
No gambling. There's
Yeah.
no gambling in this game.
There's no.
Well.
What do you mean?
I'm just playing with you, but the nets and the beetles and stuff.
Oh.
There's random chances that you get things. It's not really.
No,
it's not
I'm
really.
just
Right.
I'm just
Yeah.
joking.
That's not paid.
Yeah.
No.
Well, it is.
Well, yeah. No.
There's just different tiers of nets, and you're saying you can get this in this. And
Yeah.
I've never done a net that I wanted to get. Like, I'm like, I need a
Multiple.
squid. I've always gotten a squid from the squid net, so.
Yeah. Well, it tells
And if you really
that.
wanted to, you could get a squid in 5 minutes. But if you
Yeah.
want to cheat that, you can spend some money.
No, but
I don't have time.
it also like makes it
5
really
minutes,
hard.
that's like
I
a
struggled
quarter of a
to
burrito.
I struggled to find where to spend money in the thing. I was like, how do I buy the money?
Yeah,
Okay, I was like, okay, yes, click the ad, and then it just told me about it, and I was like,
This is
where do
the
I buy
opposite
it?
of every other game. It's
Yeah.
it's way too difficult to spend money in
Yeah.
this game.
Yeah. So to that person who said it's predatory, you're a piece of shit who can't read.
Yeah.
Or you're very good at navigating menus.
Yeah. Or you're just like magnetized to it, and it's your problem, not ours.
Yeah.
Spending money.
one of the things that I do have about the Leaf tickets, though, Leaf tickets are way too expensive for how many Leaf tickets you get.
Yeah, I
Like,
agree that they're
ridiculous.
overpriced.
Yeah.
Like,
But I
even
But
with
that's
the...
a Nintendo move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember Miitomo? What's that?
Miitomo,
Yeah,
yeah.
Miitomo.
Miitomo, but like the phone?
Yeah, Miitomo
Yeah.
is the
Yeah.
phone.
That game was just gambling.
Yeah, it
That
was
literally-
straight gambling.
That was just gambling.
Is gambling as well as market research.
Yeah.
It was really bad.
I spent $5 on a pink sailor outfit.
Yeah.
What's your favorite
Like,
ice cream? We're not going to sell this to advertisers.
Yeah, exactly. Like that
Yeah.
was a bad game.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not
no,
even a
it
game.
was.
It was just like
Market research.
Yeah.
That's literally the
It was
game.
a really weird time. Like, a lot of us were just playing Tomodachi Life, which is like the DS version, but it's a paid, like, you pay up front game, and it didn't have any of that shit in it.
No.
And then we went to mobile, and it was weird, and then I was like, I'm the most popular because I added randoms. And
Yeah.
everyone was like, how did you get such a big crown? I was like, it's because I have strangers, and now the game is ruined.
yeah, because it was cute for
Yeah.
like you'd be like, oh my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now I was like, I don't know you, and you've written dicks on my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cute, like just going to your friends and like having the answer
Like,
their
oh,
questions.
your favorite
and they
food
do
is
the thing.
oranges? That's
That's
weird.
yeah.
You freak.
Whose favorite food is oranges?
That's why I said it was weird.
But like it was like the gacha machine.
Yeah, the gotchas, yeah.
Yeah, like that's
They're good, but are they your favorites?
I mean, of the fruits, they're
No,
definitely
but
up there.
food.
Food. Oh,
And a-
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
favorite food is oranges. I had a friend whose favorite food was vanilla ice cream. That's weird.
No, that's perfectly justified.
No,
Favorite
not.
food?
No, you need to be
Really?
specific
Yeah.
with food. I think for your favorite it needs to be like, I have to prepare this more
That's-
than letting it
That's
fall.
given
Yeah.
you a type of food and a flavor. That is a valid answer.
Uh,
But
They were
orange is
vanilla.
the
They were
flavour of
literally
fruit
vanilla.
that
It's
they
vanilla.
wanted.
They were literally vanilla.
yeah.
When Ryan's like taking an issue with somehow. Is it,
I
Yeah.
take issue.
is it because
It
it's your
wasn't
shtick?
chocolate.
Look, I just think it's weird.
What's your favorite food?
Chips.
Nuggets.
Yeah, it's nuggets. Alright,
Is it vanilla flavored nuggets?
Oh, gross.
Yeah, that is disgusting.
Is it orange flavored
Hey,
nuggets?
I'm gonna end this. Thanks for listening, guys.
plug yourselves.
Oh, I was gonna plug us before ourselves.
Plug yourselves.
I am Galaxy Sword on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Tumblr. I can't think of anything else I'm on, so it doesn't exist. Watch out for YouTube, because me and Georgia are hilarious. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh.
I'm great.
I'm yet to see evidence of this.
Chris, where can they find you to send you hate?
In the grave! Because Gabby's about to kill me. No, so you can find me on Facebook at Out of the Shed Studios or on Twitter at OOTS Games. I have been silent, but that's just because I've been busy.
Yeah. Cool. You can find me at Neuroxium on YouTube or Neuroxide on Twitter. It's confusing, I know. I just tried to change myself to Neuroxium on Twitter. It wouldn't let me, it's taken. And also I can't change myself to Neuroxide on YouTube because that's taken. So look, it's gonna be separate. I can't call myself Neurox. I've got these obscure names.
Look at all the Nerox-based names for all your Nerox-attainment.
Yeah, exactly, your Neurox-attainment. Also,
I laughed so hard when I saw that on Twitter.
it's pretty good. I have a new thing that's tips on how to play Animal Crossing. You should watch that on my YouTube channel.
Reddit says it's good.
Reddit says it's good. I have a lot of things coming down the pipe. Georgia.
You can find me at Georgia on all of the social networks. Especially on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Tumblr. Also on YouTube, where I do Let's Plays, art, and like other cute nerdy videos daily. So have fun with that.
Woo.
Yeah, and don't forget to like us at Nuggbox on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. But if you want to specifically like this podcast, the Nuggcast, you can find us, and please do rate and subscribe to us on iTunes, but also on SoundCloud. And soon we're gonna get a website.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Woo.
Bye.
Have a cool time.
Bye.